Vision boards don't work unless you do this. And most people, they don't do this. They jump straight into Pinterest and printing photos and pasting them on their board. And they wonder why their life looks exactly the same and their vision board is off collecting dust. I am going to show you the one thing that actually makes vision boards work. And this is the very thing that took my vision board from cute wall art collecting dust to a life-changing tool. So let me help you fix how you're vision boarding in 2026. So here's what you probably did last year. January 1st hits. You're excited, everyone, the whole world. The energy is New Year resolution, and you jump on Pinterest and you see all these photos, right? You see the morning routine, you see the pink Pilates princess, the matcha lattes, the bodies, everything. You see all of these things and you're like, ooh, that's cute. Ooh, that's cute. Ooh, I like that. And so you're just clicking, creating boards, printing stuff out, and you grab all these photos and you start to stick them on your vision board. And you're feeling inspired. But nothing actually changes. By the end of January, you've already forgotten about that stuff. March, June, yeah, right. And then in December, you're turning around and doing the exact same thing again. You're creating the same board, putting the same goals, the same images, the same dream life as you did the previous year. And you keep doing this again and again and again. So here's why it didn't work. Problem number one. Those images were not aligned to your actual desires. So you saved them because they were aesthetic, you saved them because they were pretty, but they didn't actually represent you and the specific things that you want in life. Yeah, the 5 a.m. routine looks nice, but maybe you're a night owl and maybe you work at night and maybe it's better that you're not waking up at 5 a.m. Or the body, the figure that somebody has. Well, yeah, maybe the figure is nice, but is that really aligned with your specific body and health and fitness goals? You have to ask yourself those questions because images can be pretty, but if you haven't mapped out your actual desires first, then none of that is going to work. Yeah, the images are pretty, but they have no meaning for your actual life. Problem number two. You never mapped out your actual goals first. It was funny. I was doing a vision boarding thing day with a friend a couple years ago. And she said that she was doing vision boarding with her husband. And she said her husband put a picture of a baby on his vision board. And she was like, oh, I'm not having no baby. Right? So, and it was so funny because it's like, well, did you actually like ask your wife if she's interested in that? Like, look at where you guys are as a couple, all of that good stuff. Like, did you actually look at your goals as a couple, as a family, before you just started printing out random pictures? Now, that was a couple years ago. And let me just say, they ain't had no baby. So if you went straight to Pinterest or straight to magazines without actually mapping out your goals and your desires first, then your vision board is probably filled with unrealistic goals, irrelevant goals, and vague goals that aren't going to help you achieve these things in 2026. You can't create a vision for your life off of what's trending or off of just aesthetics. You have to create a vision that is aligned to your heart goals, your desires, your purpose, your calling, and what you actually want. So here's what you do instead. You need to create strategic, aligned goals first. Then and only then do you go and find images that represent those goals. A vision board without strategy is just cute wall art for your wall. But a vision board with strategy is an actual life-changing tool. So let me show you how to do this. Map your goals first. So if you're having trouble with that, then look in the description below and grab the link to download. I have two different freebies. One is a vision map, and then it's really simple and it can be done in like 15 minutes. It's like the quickie version, or you can download my Pinterest to Dream Life Starter Kit, which is a little more lengthy and it really dives into helping you to figure out what your goals are and to go on Pinterest and actually find out what your aligned goals are, as opposed to just finding random aesthetic stuff. It's linked below and it's absolutely free, so go grab that because that will really help you with the first step of finding out what goals are specific to you so that you can create a board that actually works. And of course, these goals should be specific, and that's what both of these freebies help you to do, help you to get really specific on what your goals are, because you don't want to say something like, I want to get fit in 2026. No, you want to be specific. Like, I want to work out 4 times a week. I want to lose 15 pounds by, in the first 90 days, whatever it is. You want to make sure that they're very specific. When you create your vision board, you want to have photos that represent very specific goals for you. When you look at the photos, you want it to represent something, not just cuteness, but represent something that's aligned to you. So that when you look at the photo, it's kind of like a heart tug. It's like, oh, yes, that's aligned. I'm passionate about that. I care about that. That's what creates a really powerful vision board. And then, of course, why do you want this? If you can't say why you want something, then there's no passion behind it. There's no alignment behind it. And there's nothing that's going to physically happen. There's no like calling out to your soul, or nothing, no real reaction happens when you think about this goal or when you look at this photo. You really want this to be an experience that when you look at the photo, it's re-jogging your memory and keeping you focused on what it is you actually want. So before you just dive into creating a vision board, or if you already did create a vision board, it's okay. You can make another one. Take the time, print out the downloads, get really clear about what your goals are so that you can know exactly what you want this year in 2026. So sit down, journal, grab a nice little cozy drink, a snack, and really take some time to get clear before you just run and start creating a vision board off of someone else's dream instead of what's actually truly aligned to you. Then curate images strategically. So yeah, you can go to Pinterest, you can go to magazines, you can go to AI or social media or Canva or whatever to find photos, but you want to make sure you're finding photos for that exact goal that you have. So I actually love to find like real photos. So I had a goal of getting into working with a certain company. So like I went on that company's website, I printed out photos from that company's website, so when I'm looking at the vision board, it's representative of the exact company that I want to work with, as opposed to just having a picture of a laptop or a picture of a computer or a aesthetic desk. You see what I mean? Like you want to curate photos that are just very specific and representative of what your exact goal is. But if you're not clear on what that goal is, then you can't find you're not going to look for a photo for that goal. So that's why it's important to start with your goals first and then have a very, very curated board of not just, so like what a lot of people like to do is like, let's say they want to be a YouTube creator. So then they'll just take a picture, they'll just print out a picture of like the YouTube plaque. Okay, but like, have you created any content yet? Maybe it will be better for you to like print some pictures of actual posts that you think are really great, that you'd like to create that type of content or something like that. But something that's going to help you to stay consistent and stay focused on what that goal is, as opposed to just something very vague. When you look at it, you should feel excited, but you should also feel very clear as well. Now let's talk about where to put this vision board. So you don't have to create a physical vision board. You definitely can. You can create multiple vision boards. I've done that in the past. I've had physical vision boards. I've had digital vision boards. I've had vision boards on my computer, on my laptop, on my phone, on my iPad. Like I have vision boards everywhere, right? So you want to make sure that the placement is where you're going to actually look for it. So if you're someone who is like always out and about, you're like never even home, then maybe creating a physical vision board isn't the best idea for you because you'd never really look at it. Maybe what's best for you is you're always looking at your phone or you're always looking at your iPad. Make sure you create vision boards there as well. And then something really interesting that I did this past year is on my phone, I started to have one image at a time. That was really powerful because it helped me to stay focused on the goal at hand. So I didn't get confused with a lot of different goals, a lot of different thoughts. I was like hyper focused on the goal. And then I think it was maybe 2 months or so when I actually completed it. And then I was like, oh yes. And then I changed it to like the next level goal, the next goal. So that really helped me when it came to my phone this year. Of course, do what works for you, but micro vision boarding, is that a thing? Micro vision boarding is what really helped me within the past year of staying consistent, because I do, have trouble with consistencies at times. I'm a single mom. I have a lot going on, a lot of different hats, a lot of different roles I'm in. So staying focused is sometimes an issue. And if that's an issue for you, then try and think about micro vision boarding and keeping very few images instead of having a huge board. Sometimes I'll see people and they make these boards and there's like 20, 30, 40 photos on the board. And that's all good, but maybe that doesn't work for you. So being very specific about your photos and your goals is going to help you to stay focused, so that you're not quitting by the end of January, but that you're actually achieving every single one of these by 2027. So now that you've got all the tools, well, the one tool necessary to actually create the best vision board, go out and take some time and figure out what your goals are. Grab the links below. Those will be so helpful with helping you to get crystal clear on what your goals are for 2026 and create a vision board that is just so strategically tailored to that. And then come back to me and tell me how you crossed off every single goal on that vision board. And I will cheer you on, because I'm here for you. And until next time,